boy Comet Chat with another fire intro. Rule of 3 is the name of the show, and I made it here from my main man, Mr. Chris Knight. I hope you like it, bro. So here we go. Well, the Rule of 3 is the name of the show. It stars Chris Knight, Comet Chat, and Nzo. Third Monday of the month at 9 o'clock, so don't be late, cause that's when the fun starts. We talk about this, we talk about that. 5 questions, decide fiction or is it fact? 3 cats that all came together like Run DMC. We're tougher than leather, so grab a seat, strap on in. The Rule of 3 is about to begin, so let's go. Rule of 3 is a show, Khaos Central is the channel. It stars me, Chris Knight, and Nzo. 3 casts with one singular vision to make this channel the best channel on YouTube, the best channel on the planet. Peace.
Is there any stuff?
What is up, everyone? It is Monday night, and we are back. This is the Rule of 3, the last of the 3 shows every month that we do. We got 3 questions, and then we do the final 5 factor fiction. We've already done our giveaway for this month, so don't forget, every month we're going to give a giveaway. I believe next month it's going to be on my show, so check that out. And I think we might have a couple ideas of what that giveaway is going to be. I'm not positive yet, but we will talk about that next month. With that said, guys, what?
Nothing. I just think about it.
No.
KKK Monopoly. I don't think they got one.
Oh God, no. No. Why is it? I didn't come up with that. Listen to those guys down there. They're trying to get me in trouble. They're trying to get me canceled.
Oh,
Man, keep the man down. Keep the man down.
My avatar has the white sweater and everything, but we should be putting the white hood on Chris right now.
Oh God. Oh my
Makes
God.
sense.
Dear God. How did I get my... I'm always in the corner. Always in the corner.
Watch. I'm gonna go online. I bet y'all find the KKK Monopoly. Chris.
Probably.
There you go, Chris.
If you look,
I cannot doubt that would be there. I mean, I don't know where you're gonna find it, but I'm sure you
look
look
hard
for
enough. They got something crazy.
100%.
For sure. All right. Well, everybody, it is Monday night. Let's talk to these 2 guys about what they've got going on first, and then we'll get right into the questions. Go ahead, Nzo. Tell everybody about yourself, what you got going on.
Guys, you know, Big Afford Entertainment. We do the shows during the week, Chaos stuff, OOC stuff. Wonder Man is coming out soon, so we're probably going to be doing something with that. So, yeah, make sure to check it out, man. We got some good stuff coming.
Right. Danny, what do you got going on?
I'm just really working. I think I improved on my my Word of Wisdom show. I got a very, in my opinion, very highly intelligent, very skilled, very knowledgeable pastor on there, and I'm getting a lot of positive feedback. So I'm pushing through with that. Also, I'm trying to do a little bit of stuff on my Dapper Dan. Also, trying to do a little bit of stuff on the Hangout and see a little bit more, and also on Strong's Live. So 2026, man, I'm trying to up the game.
Awesome. Very nice.
Yes,
and
sir.
I am Chris Knight. Real Review 3000 is my channel. Chris over here. And here, there, and everywhere. Do the weekly wrap-up, doing Unmasked and Masked Singer, doing Unmasked and Masked Singer shorts. We're doing lots of different stuff. And we're looking to add more stuff as soon as I get done moved.
I am going to make a declaration, though.
Yes.
For a long time, I've been talking about how the movie experience is not as well, it's dying, and the home experience is just as good in some aspect. But this is the first year in a long time that I'm probably going to see 8 movies.
Okay.
Wait. Is that a lot or a little bit?
That's a lot in the past 2 years for me. I don't think I've seen 8 movies in 1 year in the theater in a while.
So I'll be honest with you. I probably haven't either in the past couple of years, but I know there was 1 year. Yeah, I seen like 50.
Yeah, the when MCU was in full blast. Oh yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Now I can tell you right now, be on a shower doubt. I'm going to see Michael, Doomsday, Spider-Man, The Odyssey, Doom 3, Mandalorian, and Supergirl, and He-Man in the theaters. Definitely.
Yeah, gotcha.
Now, there's some big ones coming out this year, at least.
Oh, Danny, you might have to add another one to that.
Which one?
They Will Kill You.
I've never heard of that.
The Zazie Beetz one.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, the Zazie Beetz one.
Too.
Yeah, we're going to see that one for sure.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're not already subscribed, hit the like button. Share this out. Hit the notification button. That'll help us with the algorithm, things like that. Just clicking those buttons helps. And hey, Dandelion, how you doing? Good to see you. And yeah, I mean, we've gained some subscribers over the past few months, coming back and trying to be on it again. Yes, that is mostly my fault. I will always own up to that. But we got
mostly
3 questions tonight. Yes.
Wait,
mostly.
hold on. I heard mostly.
Sometimes some people have things come up, and it's not like, listen, I am the primary reason why. Okay, primary.
No, you were the only reason why we didn't do the show for so long, because that was the only reason why it was you. Now, if you're talking about when you come back, there were a few times where I didn't do it, Danny couldn't do it, whatever. But for that, 2 years?
That's what. But that's what. No. We did some in that time frame. We did some. I mean, I'd have to go back and look. But yes, okay, the 2 years thing. Yeah, it was all my fault. We're doing a lot better.
Don't put the blame on the black guys.
I'm not putting the blame on the black guys. God, put me in the corner again. Look at this. That's how it is.
100%.
Danny, why don't you tell me the first one we're going to take today? 1, 2, or 3?
3.
3. If Hollywood keeps prioritizing ideology, algorithms, and outrage over storytelling, are we watching the death of prestige entertainment, or just the audience finally rejecting being lectured to instead of being entertained? When movies fail, is it bad writing or is it bad audience? Kind of just looking there, because there used to be, you could point to a movie that you could say was like, that's a movie that will live forever. Like it will always play to a group of people. Nowadays, it's like they come and they go. Sometimes you get good ones like Sinners and stuff that'll last a while. But is there anything out there that's really like one for the ages? Like it will be here for a very long time. I don't see that anymore. And so I'm wondering, is this because just all the stuff that they're doing in Hollywood right now, whether or not you believe it's outrage or not, if it's doing these things and it's only out there for the maximum amount of just shock and awe right up front, or is it just people are starting to realize that it's not as good as it used to be? 3 minutes. Time starts now.
I think it's a combination of both. Some of it is bad writing, some of it is a bad audience. We always heard this old saying that you're never going to please everybody, but now it seems like you can't please one person. And I'm including that group as well. And I'll give you 2 examples of myself. When I look at Wakanda Forever, I always say this, and I get pushback for it. But in those kind of movies, I think you have to look a certain way. And I'm not trying to body shame anybody, but my mindset is, okay, if you're going to pay and you're going to be a comic book character, you have to look a certain way. Case in point, when old boy, the one with Wolverine that was so bad, and we had the Deadpool with no mouth. One of the 2 heroes was the Blob. He looked muscular at first, but then as the movie progressed, he looked like what we see in the comic books. And this is my nitpick, if you're gonna play certain characters, you gotta look a certain way. That's just a nitpick, but also it can be classified as being a bad audience, because some people will say you're never happy with anything. Like some people, just for instance, with this latest He-Man, we could clearly see it was a joke, but they said that him, and everybody going all out crazy and it's woke, it's woke, it's woke. Everything ain't woke. Sometimes things is just a joke, but people are trying to put ideologies, algorithms, outrage, because that is what's moving the needle for these different things when it comes to YouTube.
Oh, I'm gonna pause your
Mike
time.
went out.
Your mic went out. Unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. All right. I'll start your time back up. Go ahead.
Okay. If you figure out the algorithm on YouTube or whatever social media you're using, you see that, okay, I'm getting 20,000 views for saying this is bad, even though I really don't think it is, and you all about the dollar, then you're going to say whatever it is to get the algorithm to get the more dollars. And sometimes that's not only it ruins your credibility as a content creator and someone that's supposed to be objectively looking at the movie and pointing out the pros and cons, and that's what's hurting it. A lot of people think that some things are supposed to be comic book accurate. Sometimes comic book accuracy does not translate into the live screen, and you got to allow a little bit of leeway for that. Some people are dead set and mad about race swapping and gender bending. If it makes sense, case in point, me and I was on a stream early this week, and some people are mad because Man at Arms is black. I don't care. I do not care. That is not a pivotal character that says he can't be black, Hispanic, whatever the case may be. So some people just got to stop trying to put ideologies in everything and just take it at face value. It is fiction. It is not real.
Yeah. All right. Nzo, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Time starts now.
So first off, I just want to piggyback off of what Danny said about one thing, because I think that, a lot of this people complaining and crying about race bending, it's only when it benefits them. So for example, you have, like I said, Danny said, Man at Arms, he's black, right? But he's not a big character, so I don't care. It's okay. But then you get a big character, it's like, oh no, we can't do that. We can't have this guy race bending. I just think it's like, why even worry about it, right? Like Danny said, it's all fictional.
Hold on. I have a question right here. I'm gonna pause your time. I'm gonna ask this question right up here. Let's go with one that I know right now is a big topic for people who are interested in it. They cast a black man as Severus Snape, and one of the things they said when they started doing this redo for the books that's going to be the series, they said we're going to be true to the books. All this, he does not match the description. Everybody thinks Alan Rickman, white guy, all that stuff. Is that a time for people to say, hey, this isn't going to work, that's not how we should do it? Or you're saying exactly what I'm trying to ask right here? Does it matter? Or is it, if you're okay with one, you should be okay with any?
Yeah, to me it doesn't matter. I don't
Okay.
care. Well, first off, I'm not a Harry Potter fan anyways, right? But at the same time, I don't care, right? Because you have people who complained about Gordon from the Batman, who was black. Oh, they put him black guy, and then everybody watched the Batman and how good it was, and no one talked about him being race bent anymore. You know what I mean? So at the same time, what I think about, and I'll say this about the ideologies and stuff. I think if you watch the Ben Affleck interview with him and Matt Damon, they talk about how Netflix actually tells them how to write scripts now, right? They make sure that you repeat the plot of the movie like 5-6 times throughout the movie, because they say people are going to be on their phone watching it, right? I think that ends up becoming bad writing, which is a huge problem for these things. Is it bad audience too? Yes, because I think some people are fed up with certain things that they're doing in movies. But I'm also noticing a trend too, where like all these culture war channels, i.e., Geeks and Gamers, Nerdrotics, and all these channels, their audiences are going down, which is showing me that people are at the point where they don't care anymore. Right? It was a hot topic 5 years ago, was a hot topic 3 years ago, but right now it's just to the point where it's like, okay, people I think just want good stories now, right? And I keep saying this all the time. This internet stuff social media, YouTube, Facebook, it's not real life. If you go and talk to real people, they don't care. Half of them don't even know that some of these characters are race bent, right? They don't even know. It's like, oh, that used to be a black guy. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's right. Because they don't follow that anymore. Like back in the day, people bought comic books on a regular basis, constantly, right? Comic books were a big thing. They're not anymore. And in another 5 or 10 years, you'll probably only be able to get comic books on digital at this point, or collector's items, right? Because it's already going down that route already. So that's what's going to end up happening. So at the end of the day, I think like people have their own visions in things. And if I were to say, I got the He-Man script, right? And I said, okay, I'm going to do He-Man. You bet I'm right. I'm going to put some black people in it because there's no black people in the original He-Man whatsoever. None. There's none. So what's the big deal? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Okay. All right. No, Danny. Really quick, your answer to the Severus Snape thing, being cast, a black man being cast Severus Snape, shouldn't matter. And
No, I mean, if they had certain qualities, I've never seen certain qualities for a skin tone in the Harry Potter books. And I read all of them. It just says Snape was a slender fella, brunette, but like skin pale as white or not. I've never seen such a descriptive part of Snape. So I personally have a problem with Snape being black, as long as he's a good actor. If it's a crappy actor, then now that he's black, I'm like, okay, y'all could have get a better actor than that.
And that is always kind of what I've said, is that I can see how it's going to be hard. One, you had a guy play 7 movies or 6 movies, 7, that Alan Rickman knocked it out of the park. It's going to be difficult to follow that up. That's the first thing. And you know, if somebody didn't know who Alan Rickman is, and you just said it, you know, Alan Rickman did this, you know, then it doesn't matter to him.
Yeah. He's
I think it's all about. Yeah.
Didn't he get his first start off in Bruce Willis movie?
Who?
I think it was one of his first movies. Was it was either that or Quigley Down Under. It was really close to the same time.
And even if it wasn't, I think that's the one that put him on the map, was the Die Hard.
It is. Yeah. It is definitely one that cemented him. But no, I think that's the thing. It has to be a good actor. And I say the same thing for women. Pick the right person who can act the part. And there's got to be a reason why they casted him. I mean, again, this is over in England. I want to tell you right now, they don't care. Race and gender does not mean the same thing it means here in America.
No, 100%.
Looking for it. And that's where it gets to us.
When I think about it, Chris, the only superhero that I can think off the top of my head that would not make sense if they race swap is Black Panther.
I agree with you.
And maybe Storm.
No, I can agree with you 100%.
Other than that, I'm like, it don't make sense.
But there's the other thing too, right? Because I watched an Emergency Awesome video just yesterday, and they were saying they were actually looking at Aaron Pierre to play T'Challa. And I was like, oh, if they would have done that, boy, there's a few people that would have freaked out because he's too light-skinned and this and that. And they do the same thing with Storm. And I get that, but I mean, people don't understand. They're still light-skinned African people, right? Like Africans still.
Again, it's, you know, we'll see. They got to shoot the thing first. I mean, they're supposedly started. We'll see. I think if somebody, somebody asks or somebody watches it and gives it a chance, shouldn't be an issue.
And let me, I was just about to go that one. Go ahead.
A positive ask. Can I ask a question? If they race swap Darth Vader's voice from James Earl Jones to Hayden Christensen, who portrayed Darth Vader, would you be upset or not?
Absolutely not. I would not be upset. Well, if he could do the voice, or he could do a voice that's just as menacing, yeah, go ahead. All right? Because here's the thing. James Earl Jones is not always the one that voiced Darth Vader in the cartoons, right? It's not him. So it's someone else's voice. So
It's the
I
same
don't care.
thing. Same thing like with the Batmans. We heard how many different Batmans we've heard throughout the series. I mean, throughout, because if you look at Adam West, he didn't sound menacing.
Right. Exactly.
And then you look at Christian Bale that you hate. So it's the actor's take on it.
Me. No, I totally get it. And
the only person I think of possibly that would be menacing that comes to mind is like Keith David. I can see him as Darth Vader because he has that kind of voice. Or I can see Clancy Brown as Darth Vader because he has that kind of voice.
Well, and then they mixed Haydenson's voice with Earl's voice for Obi-Wan. And I would say the only reason why that might be an issue is for people who grew up and who can really tell. Like when you watch the animated stuff and Darth Vader's in there, they do a really good job, but you can still tell it's not James Earl Jones.
Yeah, 100%.
But it works. I think it's honoring and trying to be as close to what they are, because again, James Earl Jones was just not going to live forever, and that's one of the things. So if you want to continue something, you have to be open to the ability of somebody else taking that mantle and being able to continue, no matter who they are or what they are, as long as they do the absolute best they can to follow that pattern or that method.
So Star Wars, if I'm not mistaken, quote me if I'm wrong, but I believe they brought the right to James Earl Jones' Darth Vader voice so that they could always use it, whatever, right? But let's just say they didn't, and James Earl Jones does pass away, and then Hayden Christensen ends up doing the voice. I'm not going to have a problem with that. At least it's him who played Darth Vader many times, you know what I mean? Wouldn't have a problem with that. Not at all. Not at all.
All right, I'll go now. So I think the big issue here is we've all kind of said it. It's a mix of both. There have been good movies that people absolutely are just out to opposite of what this question is. There is just as many people in that audience who are out to outrage and to strike algorithms against something, even if it's good. I heard plenty of people talk crap on Sinners, and I think Sinners is one of the freshest, most original movies I've seen in a long time. Yes, it felt, when I watched it, I saw a lot of what Dusk Till Dawn was, but it's different than Dusk Till Dawn. It just has a lot of similarities, and it was fun. It was fresh. I haven't seen a good vampire movie like that done in that style for 10, 15 years. When you get movies like that, and yet you still hear people complain about it or talk crap on it, which there were plenty of people doing that. You're already getting it with He-Man and stuff. He-Man, what I've seen, I think it's going to turn out pretty darn good, but it may not. But people, before they're even watching these things, on the opposite end of the writers and directors and people in film, on the opposite end, people who do YouTube, like Nzo was saying, they are automatically attacking things, which just, that's all they're going to do for 2, 3, 4, or 5 months until the movie comes out, and they may or may not go see it. And now that they've built up their narrative, they're going to continue on that narrative no matter how good a movie is. So it is absolutely a mix of this. There are plenty of bad movies out there. There are plenty of bad writers that are being hired right now. As you said, Netflix is trying to tell people how to write stuff. No, there are writers out there that should just be allowed to write. Listen, if you can't write, you don't need to be writing, and you need to be flushed through the system, not propped up and told how to do your job. Same thing with actors, same thing with directors. We don't need to keep these people hired just because they say they can do it. We need people to be held accountable for what they do. But on the opposite end, we can't have people on the other end in YouTube or on the news or wherever attack things that are legitimately fresh, good ideas, acted well, directed well. And again, I go back to Sinners. We talked about it with the Golden Globe, not Golden Globes, with the was it Golden Globes? Oscars. Thank you. Yeah. I don't watch award shows for the very reason that when you have good shows like that and good movies, they kind of get passed over. And again, whether or not that's because it was an African American director or not, it's still a good movie got passed over. And until we break that narrative across the board or find a way to break that narrative more, I don't think it's going to, this thing, it's a 50-50 thing. I think sometimes it's the movie and the people behind it, and sometimes it's the people watching the movie, right? I mean, you brought it up, Geeks and Gamers. They're still talking Disney's a day or two away from shutting down. They're still saying Star Wars sucks. And I'm not going to get in the argument about Star Wars sucking or not. That's not the point. They've been on that train for a long time.
And people don't care anymore, right? People are getting fed up. People are like, oh yeah, whatever. Same old, same old. Like, talking about it and anything is not going to change anything, right? So at the end of the day, it is what it is. And I think that's what's happening too. But I also think that, like, regardless of whether these movies have bad writing or, certain things that people don't want to see in these movies, a lot of movies aren't going to make as much money because things are getting way too expensive. And I keep saying that all the time. It's getting way too expensive to go see like 8 movies. Like Dan said, 8, he's going to see 8. I'm going to probably see that amount too. But 8 movies in a year for a family with 2 or more kids? Come on now. That's hard to do now.
This thing, you go to IMAX, all 8 of those movies, that's $200.
Yeah, 100%.
That's a lot.
Yeah, 100%. That's a lot of money to go to the movies now. So I think a lot of people are like picking and choosing which movies to go see now as well.
I know it's advantageous to buy those packages like what Chris buy, but I may buy that and be like, I don't really want to see that. So
right, because you buy it and then you feel like, man, I didn't go see enough movies. You know what I mean? Like, I did, and then why am I spending my money for this? And I only went to like 3 movies, So
it's kind of like insurance, man. Like, God, I spent all this money for insurance and I ain't been on a wreck in 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So at the same time, I feel you on that. And I just like, I think they use the excuse of a movie flopping now, and they say it's DEI or whatever it is, when I think most of these movies don't make as much money is because people aren't going to see them as much because they're too expensive. So that's my opinion on that.
Sure. No, I think that they had to focus quality over quantity. And again, I think we all brought it up back when COVID hit. It's like, now they held on to so many movies, they had to get them out because they're sitting on a shelf and like, we can't have these out here the whole time. And they were forced to release movie after movie after movie. Now it's almost like they're like, well, we have to keep this pace up. And it's like, no, you don't. You can slow down. People will be fine at slowing down and going back to having like a Christmas, New Year box office run, having like a Valentine's Day run for the rom-coms, having your summer blockbuster run, and then getting into Halloween stuff, and then back to the other. It's like people would be okay with it going back to, I know I have a month or 2 in between a few of these, or like, I don't like rom-coms. I'm not going to go during February, March, and April. I'll go in May, June, July. It used to be something we always were doing. It's like, so I think people would be perfectly fine going back to something more like that, where if you're going to put money into these big movies, fine, but you don't have to give us 15 of them a year.
No, 100%. You remember back in the day when we were growing up, it was like, oh, summertime's coming, so all the blockbusters are coming out, right? They still do that now, where most of the blockbusters do come out around summertime, but you'll get a lot sprinkled throughout the year now. Right? Back in the day, you'll get all the little movies throughout the year, and then when summertime hits, that's when all the big blockbusters come out. But now they're making so many movies that it doesn't matter which month it is. It's usually a blockbuster caliber movie coming out. So it's just
for sure. All right, Nzo, 1 or 2?
Oh, I'm going with 1.
Sometimes I put these things right where I know you're going to pick.
Yeah, I know you.
All right, here we go. with an estimated 3,000 plus ICE agents and 1,500 U.S. Army soldiers from the 11th Airborne in Alaska on standby, far more than the roughly 1,200 local Minneapolis and St. Paul police officers. There is a massive federal presence, or is the massive federal presence helping, hurting, or making no real difference in the unrest and protest situation happening right now in Minneapolis, St. Paul? Simple answer, simple question. Are they even helping anything? That's the question. I think I know where we're all stand on this, but we're going to go and talk about this because this is a big topic right now. Nzo, 3 minutes, go.
Well, first off, let me start by saying fuck ICE. All right, fuck them. We've been following the situations that's been going on in Minneapolis, at least I have, since it started, and you are seeing protesters, which is the right of America to go out there and protest, but they're being attacked by these ICE agents, right? They are literally being killed. And then you have the president and his people coming out saying that these people were domestic terrorists, right? The last guy that died, can't remember his name, but I tried to remember it. But they said, go ahead.
It's
Art
Purdy.
something or something like that. Yeah. So when they killed him, they said on the news conference that he was coming at them with a 9mm. That's what they said. Then you watch the video, he has no gun in hand whatsoever. Was he strapped? Yes, but then again, that's his God-given right in America again, which is, I think, one of the things that America needs to actually really look at is the gun laws. I'm not saying to take away the guns of American people, no, because they won't let that happen, but have the laws be stricter where certain people cannot be carrying guns all they want to. Now, this guy seemed like he was legit. He had everything. So I'm not talking about him in general. I'm not talking about him. He was a nurse, I think, a nurse or something like that, and he had every right to. But you see in the video, they pull the gun from the back of his chest, and it's the cop that discharges the gun, which makes them shoot this guy. ICE is not helping nothing. They're using this fucking, we're going after all the criminals, we're going after all these criminals, and they are pretty much attacking innocent people, right? They're not going after dangerous criminals. They're going after immigrants who may be trying to get into the country the right way, right? You've seen videos of them getting people coming out of immigration court as they're trying to become American citizens. Exactly. And because of who you have in charge, he gives them diplomatic immunity to where they can do whatever they want to. And I said this on the OOC on Wednesday, that a lot of these places, when Trump sends ICE there, you're going to see a lot more places stand up. And it's looking more like a third world country than it does America right now. It's crazy to me what I'm seeing. So, no, they're not helping at all.
Danny, 3 minutes. Go ahead and go.
Can you move that timer because I can't see the question?
Yeah, here, I'll start it over again for you. We'll move it right there with 3,000 estimated ICE agents and 1,500 U.S. Army soldiers from the 11th Airborne in Alaska on standby, which I don't know if they're still on standby. Let's just go with the 3,000 ICE agents. Far more than the roughly 1,200 local police officers from Minneapolis and St. Paul. That's combined numbers for both cities. Is the massive federal presence helping, hurting, or making no real difference in the unrest and protest situation happening right now in Minneapolis and St. Paul? So,
okay.
3 minutes. Time starts now.
I really have not been following this and just heard bits and pieces, but I do know that you have to be very, very careful when you start imposing and trampling on people's civil rights. You have to be very, very careful in law enforcement that you have the correct evidence, because sometimes people want to add stuff and not truly do their due diligence to make sure that these people are in fact who they say they are. I know in my dealing with Hispanics, not all of them, but a lot of times they have 4 or 5 names, and I don't know whether that is their culture or by design. A lot of confusion, but gotta be very, very, very careful about how you go in someone's house, trample on their civil rights, hurt children, shoot people, all that kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, if you're not careful, it's going to turn up being a civil war, and we do not want that. The guns that are out there now, the mentality that's out there now, the lack of a moral code, anger seems to be at a fever pitch. People have a hair trigger, just anything sets you off. So you gotta be very, very careful. And if they keep continuing this and keep this unrest, it's going to become martial law. And nobody wants that, because then everybody will have a curfew. Everybody has to do this. And it seems like if you believe in the Bible, a lot of this has been already prophesied. So, like I said, I'm really not falling like I should. But I can tell you from being in law enforcement, you have to be very, very careful, because it is an awesome responsibility to take someone's liberty, or to make sure that you're not trampling on their liberty and their freedom. And it seems, based on what I've seen, based on things I've heard, that he doesn't take care. The president doesn't take care. He says stuff. I don't know if he sits down and really thinks it out and thinks clearly of it. It's like he's hair trigger. And just like, I've never seen a person go to another person's country and just do what he did. I've never seen that before. So if he can do that, or he has done that, then he has no qualms about coming into one of our houses if he feels he's justified. So this is a very troubling time, and I don't know if they're doing any good. If it's causing civil unrest and a lot more harm than good, then maybe they need to let cooler heads prevail. But I don't think the cooler head is sitting in the White House, and it's a very dangerous time.
All right. Go ahead.
I was just going to say extremely dangerous. But let me just answer this. Basel said no on Nzo. Look, it's not looking like third world countries. Third world countries, they don't protest because they don't have energy, food, no rights, etc. Wait a minute. You don't think they protest in third world countries? Iran, Iraq, Gaza, these places never had protests? They have, bro. They've protested 100%. And what I'm saying is, why I say it looks like in third world country is because when they do protest, you have army men, like whatever, if you're talking about ISIS or whoever is in charge of that country, they're going around just killing people. That's what they're doing in America right now. They're just in the streets in Minneapolis, and it's at the point where they don't even look like they're going after immigrants anymore. They're just messing with the protesters. Like, I can show you the videos. It's crazy. It's crazy. You'll see. I got one for OOC on Wednesday. You'll see. It's crazy.
All right. I don't have full numbers here, but I'm going to put in a few numbers I did see. I know 140 were injured. I know I've heard like about 1,400 Capitol police officers were on duty the day of January 6th during the whatever you want to call it. I want to know, why wasn't Donald Trump protecting those police officers or those people as much as he wants to protect ICE agents by sending troops to protect them and stuff? Listen, you have a massive amount of people right now that are not doing anything but stirring up problems. You know, and I'm not going to get into the argument of why they're there. Is it right? Is it wrong? Listen, I guess if you're an illegal immigrant and you knew this guy was a president once before, you knew it was a chance happening possibly again. If you're an illegal immigrant who is a criminal, convicted felon, something like that, Okay, I don't disagree that those people do deserve to go away. But when you're knocking on people's doors, forcing your way in, and going through protesters, and you're actually not even looking for the people you say they're looking for, and you are doing things which you do not have a legal right to do. ICE is not police. They are not police officers. There are certain rules they have that they're not supposed to do or they can do. One of those things Nzo brought up, which is you cannot, they ruled on this in court. You cannot sit outside of immigration court to pick people up because they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're going to appointments that they've been given. They are trying to go through the court process and go through the legal path to become citizens. Well, it doesn't take 3,000 people to, these people can be found. If you're really looking for them, they can be found. And you can do this in a way that doesn't affect everybody else. Minnesota has always been known as a very calm, cool, collective, chill. Basically, they're the Canada of the United States. That is literally, and when I say that, Canada has a great reputation for having great people, easygoing, nice, all of that stuff. That's Minnesota. Right. That's Minnesota. And you've gone into this place and you have incited these people to do this much. And that's not because they are that type of people. They are there trying to get you out of their state that has not had these problems because you are making problems up that they either had well in hand or they knew about and they were working on it. You came in there like it was your job to stir shit up. And that is the problem. And I think that's what people don't understand right now. You have a president who, no matter what he says right now, he says, I want the law to prevail. I want this and this and this. Why then on January 6th did you not provide the same protection to your police officers that were in the Capitol? You know why? Because you weren't getting what you wanted. And that's the problem. You have a president who is selfish, and only when it benefits him does he care what's going on. And right now, he's not being heard. Other people are being heard, and he's blaming on everybody else. That's what the problem is right now. So no, they are not doing anything good there right now. Talk about this for 3 more minutes. I had to go look that number up, and I can't find the exact number. I just know 140 police officers were injured on January 6th, and that's what's maddening, is that he could have called the National Guard in at any moment, and he didn't. Here we have 3,000, most of which are in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. And all he wants to do is double down on it. And these people aren't doing half of what those people did on January 6th. So, I mean, what else do you guys have to say about it?
Hey, Basil, you could just go Google, is Iran a third world country? It'll tell you the answer to that, which is yes, which I just did. So, yeah, but it is considered a third world country. But I don't know, man. I sit here and I say, with what they're doing is crazy. And I like to see that Minnesota standing up to them. You know what I mean? I like to see that Minnesota standing up to what's going on in there. And I hope more places in America stands up to ICE because they're doing things that are supposed to be legal, right? Listen, we all know places have immigration problems. That's fine. If you want to get illegal immigrants out there, I don't have no problem with that. But they're literally knocking on doors. They also trying to put in a law to where they don't even need a warrant to go into people's houses. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's violating the Constitution there.
That is absolutely crazy. So if you're just saying that you can just walk into people's house and take people up off the streets, you know how many people and legal immigrants that they've picked up and then had to let them go because they know that they're not illegal, right? They're just, it's like taking shit and throwing it at the wall and see what sticks.
Up until I think the last time I looked at it, when the last city, I think it was Chicago or somewhere new, and they talked about it. And at that point, it was 70% of the people they picked up had no criminal record. and then let them go. And I think I've seen a number of 90% at sometimes. Listen, like you said, we know that there are illegal aliens. We know that there are people who are coming over the borders and murdering. They come from the north, come from the south, they come from the oceans, they come from everywhere. People are there are crazy people out there. That doesn't mean that you have to invade cities to find these people. The police can do a lot of this work for you. I mean, I don't know. It's just, and today, he says, oh, we're going to pull. He's talking about pulling out. I think he says that just because, he wants people to think he's.
He had a conversation with Tim Walz. Tim Walz is the governor. Yeah, he had a conversation with Kim Walz. So now he's saying, oh, I had a good conversation. Listen, and I watched a video where they say if you kiss Trump's behind, you could pretty much get him to do whatever you want to, right? And even when the girl died, the girl got murdered, right? Trump literally went, first off, they called her a terrorist, right? Mm-hmm. Then they realized that, oh, well, she wasn't a terrorist and she wasn't trying to shoot cop, whatever. He literally went on a press conference, or he had his little press conference, and he said, oh, well, I heard her parents were Trump supporters and they love Trump, and I hope they still love Trump because it was a tragedy and all of that. Like, yeah, that's not what you were saying before, bro. But now we find out that the parents love Trump. It's like, oh, well, we made a mistake. Like, get out of here.
Hey, Mike, what's going on? Good to see you.
What's up, Mike?
I think it was just, he waffles and flops around worse than a fish out of water. That's the worst thing about it. The guy has no spine, no morals of any sort. And I'm the one that's always said, listen, I don't care if you sleep around with your wife. That doesn't make a difference to me as far as a president goes. Mm-hmm. But the stuff he's doing is the opposite. I mean, if he was doing something behind Melania, wherever, fine, I don't care. That didn't bother me with Clinton. But you know what? When you do this kind of stuff, I don't know, man. All right. Last question is this. Bo Nix is out after sustaining a season-ending injury during the second to the last play in overtime win against the Buffalo Bills. Now, did he do the right thing by coming in for the final play? I'm not sure. Do you think that was the right move? Do you think they should have taken him off the field? They were going to win anyways. And did that decision cost the Broncos the AFC Championship, or is it on the coach for the play calling in the last game? I mean, was it the play calling? Was it all of it? Or was it the fact that he, in the play calling, got him out? That's the question. So 3 minutes. I'll start by saying this. Every quarterback out there makes spur of the moment decisions. So the play call might have had something to do with it, but if you look at it, it was a freak injury. Like, really didn't even look like he injured himself. And as much as I hate the Denver Broncos, I'm going to say that was a ballsy move coming out for one last play with a broken ankle. They said they knew that it was broken. He had told them, I knew it was broken. I just went out there to finish the game. And that right there, that's a ballsy move. I mean, that's kind of like Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs coming back with the high ankle sprain or something. I mean, but that's even what I'm just saying. Hey, that's ballsy. Listen,
you knew Patrick Mahomes was going to get put in there somewhere, right?
Hey, just going to go there. Anyways, but my point is that I don't think that's on him. It might have been a little play calling, because if it wasn't the right play call and he had to make something happen, he made something happen, but that ended. And did it cost them the AFC Championship? I don't know, because the backup guy did pretty good until the snow started, and that kind of just threw a wrench into everything. If you watch that game, the first half was kind of anybody's game, and then that second half came and
played in the
New
snow.
England.
Do a game? Oh, okay.
What?
Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing wrong with playing in the snow, Danny.
No, but they it got worse and worse and worse. That ball gets harder and harder and harder, and it affected the game. But hey, that's the game. I'm with Nzo in this. I'm perfectly fine with it. It was a close game. I thought it was a good game. And I don't know if that did. I think it was just they didn't have enough parts of their team. They didn't have as good of a running team. And yeah, I think I'm not sure if it made any difference. I think if Bo Nix was in that game, we might have gotten the same game, honestly. So that's what I got to say about that. Nzo, 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Listen, man. I seen Isaiah do it. He came back in, he sprained his ankle, came back in, scored like 30 something points or whatever in the fourth quarter. So you coming in is for that last play, it shows how tough you are. But at the same time, did you really help out your team? Right? Because you have a broken ankle, you can't be as mobile as you would have been, right? Maybe the backup would have seen something or could have did something different. But one thing they usually say when you're, watching these football games, a lot of them say, we didn't lose this game on one or two plays, right? You have a full 4 quarters to play, right? So there's a chance that you could have played better in the second. You could have played better in the third. Maybe the ball went your way. Maybe the ball doesn't go your way in certain situations. I get that 100%. So football's kind of different. It's hard to sit there and say like it was just this one play and because of that one play we lost, But at the same time, I also think that maybe Bo Nix kind of did hurt his team. I didn't see the last play when he came out, but I did see that he got injured, and I was like, oh, ooh, that's tough because even if they had one, you got to go with your backup the next game. You know what I mean? And then Bo Nix is the guy. So, but I would say it's tough. It's tough, Hard to say either way which would have been better. I don't know. But I'm more on your path where the game probably would have played out the same way it did because the defense was fire. You know what I mean? Like it was a really good game up until the end. Like I didn't really see the end, but I just think Denver wouldn't have won either way. They wouldn't have won either way. I don't think they would have won if he had stayed in for the whole game or not. So, how did the backup do when he came in though?
Good. I mean, I think his first 3 passes, he was 0-3, but then he started getting into it. He got a couple long passes. Positive brings up a good point. They were in a position they could have gone for a field goal. They didn't. We were talking about that before the show with LA. I mean, that is a coaching decision. But then again, I guess as a team, your coach has enough faith in you that we're going to get out there, we're going to do this. That, maybe you don't.
So I think the Rams was a little bit different because, like I said, the Rams fourth quarter, you had like 5 or 6 minutes left. You were right there. You kicked that field goal. You're down by 1, and then you get to get your defense in there. And even if you have like a minute left, you have a minute to get in field goal range and not a touchdown. So I think there's some, I think what I've seen a lot for this football season is that a lot of teams went for it on 4th down when I thought they shouldn't have. Because even in the Denver game, they went for it on 4th down. I'm like, oh, no, kick the field goal. Now they did get the touchdown on it. So I was like, okay, good call. But at the same time, I'm like, ugh. These games are important now. You might want to get points on that board.
I think you're going to start seeing people back off that 4th down a little more than they have in the past because of that. But, Danny, 3 minutes. Go ahead.
I 100% blame the coach, Sean Payton. He should have made that hard call and said, look, nope. He should have prepared his backup quarterback to take over that place. I know that Bo Nix wanted to go in there, and it's a tough thing, but you at the beginning of your career. We don't want to do something to aggravate it, make it worse. We don't pay you all those millions. I know you're on your rookie contract, but playing the way you playing, you're gonna get the big contract. So I wouldn't look. This ain't a testicle check. I know you gotta sit on the bench, let that little boy take it home. So I blame the coach on that. Not really a fan of Sean Payton, didn't like the way he did Russ Wilson. But I just think that he should have made the call and he should have told him no, because that's what you get paid for, the coach. Because at the end of the day, and not throwing shit at Matt Tomlin, I think he's sort of writing on the wall, and whenever Matt Tomlinson wins or lose, he always owns up to it. I pick at him, but he always owns up to it. He'll tell you like it is. So I think Sean Payton, I think that was his mistake. I think he should have set Bo Nix down, and he should have had his backup prepared, and they should have went in there. And I will continue to down this hill. If they would have played in a dome, I don't think this would have happened. I know back in the day, during the Ice Bowl, all that kind of stuff, and money wasn't really high like it was, and what technology. But now we live in technology. Right now, just today, I got on Chat GPT and made something that I never could have made 10 years ago, and it did it in 30 seconds. So yeah, there are some things you maybe shouldn't change, but I think it's really time that all these stadiums, real talk, go to domes, because it makes no sense to play in that weather. It just doesn't. To me, I think it can adversely affect games. I think in some instances it's unfair advantage, especially if I'm used to playing in a hot climate. I got to go to a cold climate or vice versa. I just think that it's not fair, in my opinion. But that's my 2 cents. But I definitely think in this case that the blame lies on Sean Payton. He should have told him no, sit down, and put his back up and rather die with his back up. That's what I would have done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't disagree with you. I mean, they say he's going to be back by the first of the year. We're talking about this for 3 more minutes. They say he's going to come back right at the beginning of the year, which is kind of where the Patrick Mahomes injury is at. There's a few other people that were injured late in the season. They say that's right about the time they're coming back. So far, it doesn't sound like it's going to affect him too much. But if your ankle is broken,
yeah,
like even if he knew it, I think you need to tell your quarterback, listen, if you're hurt, tell me, let's get you off. Because I mean, I'm not saying he could have played in this game.
And let me put this caveat in here too.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not a wealthy person, and my team, and I use your team, I'm going to see Patrick Mahomes. I want to see Patrick Mahomes play at 100%. Or whoever your quarterback is, your basketball player is. I don't want to go there and see the backup, even though they may be my team. So if any way you can protect that quarterback, or say, look, next season, look, we just ain't got this season. Nobody wants him to go in there and aggravate it and then be out even longer, may not be able to start next season. Because we've seen that a prime example of that is the Bengals quarterback. How many times has Joe Cool got so much promise at the beginning of the season and then gets hurt because of whatever the case may be? I don't want to go work, pay my hard-earned money, and go see me on the court on snap taking a hike. I don't want to see Danny. I want to see Patrick Mahomes. I want to see whoever the quarterback is, the starting quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, Dak, whoever it is. I don't want to see Danny.
No, you're right. I agree with you 100%. And I get it, right? It's a playoff game, and you want to win. I get that 100%. But even if Bo Nix had been able to come in and pull this miracle off to where they won, he still wouldn't be back the week after, right? He's not playing anymore. So sit him down and let that injury heal so that he doesn't mess it up any worse than it already is, like Danny said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I think that's right. I don't know if this is true, but supposedly after Patrick Mahomes had his surgery, he asked somebody on the team, he's like, do you think they'd let me go out there and play? Because he said he felt good enough to do it. No, the answer is no. You don't. You're injured. Sit your butt down. Be done.
You don't play
it sucks for
with a franchise player.
Exactly.
And it sucked for the Chiefs. I'm not saying that's why they didn't go to the playoffs this year. They may not have anyways. Doesn't matter. That's not the point. It sucks to watch a backup go out there, and it sucks to see the team just not do what you want them to do. But in the long run, if you're a fan of your team, you don't want that guy out there. You don't want him pushing it. You want him to be there for the long haul, year in and year out. So, yeah.
I would have
absolutely.
never
Totally
guessed the Seahawks and the Patriots being the Super Bowl.
That's what I said.
I don't even know if I really want to see that.
That's what I said.
The only reason why I'm
Well,
going to watch it is because
keep
of
that-
the commercials.
Keep that in mind right there. That is a great thing to lead into this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now for the moment that everyone's been waiting for. It's Chaos Central's Final 5 Fact or Fiction.
Ain't nobody
Yes,
picked either of these teams to be in the Super Bowl. So if we see Chris got it right, we know he messed it up, all right? I'm just saying.
No. I will tell you that the Final 5 did change.
The only way I want to
because-
see the Patriots is Tom Brady was still playing with them. Other than that, I don't care 2 cents about them. I'm
The
just
Final
saying
5.
Not the best for Chris, but see, let him break a record.
The Final 5 was different because we were going to do it on Monday, then we changed it to Thursday, and now we're here. So I changed it to reflect what already happened this past weekend. So yes, I have the correct teams on here, but I did not originally. I was vague on who was going to win. Now I have that, and I've changed some of these questions, but we're going to go through. I think we got like 9 questions that we're going to answer today. So let's just bring those up
And show who's in the lead, please. Just show who's in the lead.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, well,
Danny and I are in the lead. Danny and I are in the lead for sure. Final 5 Fact or Fiction. Question 4 from week 36. It's time for some football. Our 3 teams, the Washington Commanders, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Kansas City Chiefs, Fact or Fiction, will make the playoffs. Well, Danny and I didn't get that lucky, and well, Nzo probably wishes that they didn't make it after the performance they did. Maybe not. I don't know that for sure.
No, I still made it. I'm okay with that.
Let's see here. Question number 4. Danny had fact, I had fact, and so did Nzo, but we were all wrong.
What was the question?
Question was, it's time for some
Washington
football. Our 3 teams, Washington Commanders, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Kansas City Chiefs, Fact or Fiction, will make the playoffs. All
I
3
thought
teams.
Pittsburgh made the playoffs.
They did. But it's all 3
though.
teams, not one of them. All 3 teams. Because that was the thing. All right. So none of us get that one. I'm going to say
The score now 12, 10, and 10.
yes, 12, 10, and 10. Uh-huh. Did I put the tally up here? Oh, let me get the tally. All right. There's the tally right there, 10, 12, and 10. All right. Next one is here you go. Week 37, question number 2. Final 5 Fact Fiction. The Baltimore Ravens are falling fast with Lamar Jackson out and many other injuries. Fact or Fiction. The Baltimore Ravens won't make the playoffs this year. They did not make the playoffs. So, where's my week 37? Interesting. I know it's here somewhere. Oh, that's why. Yeah. I hate this new notepad thing. All right. So, question number 2. Fiction, Danny said. Nzo said fact. He gets another one. And I said fiction. That means Nzo gets another one.
That was love. Where you at?
Yeah, it was. Huh?
Where you at?
Oh, did he fall out? Oh shoot! Hold on, let me make sure. See if he's. I don't know. He dropped off.
The other night.
We'll see what happens. You know, he still has that cat running around. Never know. Cat might have jumped on anything. Yeah, let's see. All right, next one. Let's see here. This one right here. Week 37, question number 5. Let's get that back up here. Oh, all right. Oh, there he is. Okay, you're back. Good. All right. So question number 5, by the way, you got another point while you were gone.
Cool. The only one?
Yeah.
Just one so far. You only got one. Yeah, we didn't get it. You did somehow. And Danny said
what was the question?
You said the Ravens wouldn't make the playoffs.
Oh.
We said they would. I still haven't seen Avatar 2, but Avatar Fire and Ash is being released on December 19th, 2025. So Avatar Fire and Ash will make over $1 billion at the box office, and of course it did. And we all said fact.
Of course.
That was too easy.
I think, you know, what's funny is, well, you say that, I finally had to just say, you know what, I can't lose a point on this. Because I was.
We know.
Yeah, you've been crazy, man. That ain't making $1 billion.
But I didn't. I said the last one wasn't going to do it. So I went ahead and became a conformist this time. So that's another point for all of us. Next one is. What's this one? Yep. Question 2 from week 38. I'll bring up the answers here. All right. WB Discovery could be sold any day, with interested parties being Disney, Paramount, Comcast, and Netflix. But Fact or Fiction, WB Discovery will be sold by the end of 2025. I still don't think it's sold. They're still fighting on it. And who knows when it's...
I thought it was sold.
I don't think so. Let me look it up, make sure.
Yeah, I thought it was sold by Netflix. One bit. Netflix got it.
That's what I thought too.
Oh. Okay. When did it happen?
Before 2025.
Before December. The end of December, I know.
What about that? It was announced in 2025, but it is sold on January 20 of 2026, with closure expected in 12 to 18 months. Danny says fiction. Nzo said fiction. We all said fiction. So I'm going to give us a point, because what I see is yes, it was talked, the deal framework was done in December, but the actual sale was finalized in January 20th and still has not closed. So still has to go through antitrust and all that.
Yeah.
So we're going to put 15, because the antitrust stuff could basically go back and say, nope, not happening. But we'll find out. All right, let's see here. Oh. Week 38, question 4 is It, Welcome to Derry is a hit. It's one of the HBO Max's best first season shows ever. The real question is will it be greenlit for season 2? I know, but Nzo can go ahead and say, was it greenlit for season 2?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. So by February, which it absolutely was. We all said facts.
Yeah.
On that one. So we all get a point again.
That show was
Switch over
so
here.
fire.
Heard a lot of good things about it. Now I need to go watch it.
So
All right.
Wonder Man
Mhm.
comes out this week. Are we doing Wonder Man?
Are we what now?
Are we doing Wonder
Hello?
Man?
Oh, the round table?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good. I'm good for it.
Cool.
All right. Question 5 from week 38 was Mark Kelly and other former military are just more possible possible court battles for the Trump White House. So will Mark Kelly and other former military leaders be court-martialed? Pete Hegseth was basically told, no, we're not going to court-martial him. We can't court-martial him. And then he's basically just trying to get them all demoted. That's all he can do. And even people are trying to push back from that. But Jag basically told him, go fuck yourself. That's not happening. So we all said it was fiction. They weren't going to be court-martialed. They will not be court-martialed. That's what I've read. So we get a point. So that makes it 14, 17, 14. And now we'll go to week 39, question 1. In 2024, the U.S. and Canada domestic box office combined finished at roughly 9 billion USD. So, fact or fiction, at the end of 2025, this total will be higher. I have right here combined box office total was about the same. Right now, it's estimated at hold on. It's right here. This is 2025. As it loads up. This so easily found. $9.05. Last year it was 8.9. So, I mean, do we want to call that about the same, or do we want to call it higher?
Sounds like it's higher to me.
All right. So, question number 1. We all said fiction. So, box office is still pulling something in. Granted, like you guys have said, lots of money to go to see those movies. So we didn't get any points there. And we have one more from week 39. In 2024, average gas prices were roughly $3.50 US here in the States and $2.85 per gallon. So at the end of 2025, this average will be lower. And this is
Canada gas is cheaper than the United States.
well, yeah, but it's different. If it's a different metric. So
Might be the other way around.
well, it's a different metric. So let's see here. Week 39. Sure, I get this right. Well, first off, the last one was question number 1. And I think I got it wrong here. Let me double check what the last one was. 39. Question number 1. Yeah, okay. So, question number 1, I had the wrong one out. This is week 39 answers right here. I said fact on that one, and you two said fiction. So I do get a point. Right. One here. Okay. So I go up to 15. Next one is this one, which was question number 5. And question number 5. Danny said fact, Nzo said fact, and I said fact. And indeed, it was like 6% cheaper, or it dropped 6% this year. So we all get the point on that one. And that brings us to this week's, which are all going to be Super Bowl related. So I will bring up this one. Oh, come on, stupid thing. There we go. Week 40, question number 1. The most watched Super Bowl ever was the 2025 Super Bowl with the Eagles versus the Chiefs, averaging 127.7 million viewers. That's just throughout the whole broadcast. Fact or fiction, this year's Super Bowl will have more viewers. Let me get this week's up for you. Danny, fact or fiction?
Negative fiction.
This is another.
All right. Nzo?
Fiction.
I agree too. I don't think very many people are going to watch this one comparatively. Question number 2. Seattle Seahawks have been flying high, but barely got past the Rams. So, fact or fiction, the Patriots will win the Super Bowl. Nzo.
Fiction.
I say fiction. Danny? You're muted, Danny.
I'll say fact.
Fact. Okay, very good. And then question number 3 is, we know who is in the Super Bowl this year, and we know all of our teams are out. So, fact or fiction, the Super Bowl will be a blowout. Doesn't matter who wins. It's just going to be like a, 30 to, let's say, 15-point spread is a blowout. Good? 2 touchdowns?
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be a blowout.
It will not be a blowout.
Say fiction.
Fiction too.
I'm going to say fiction, though. I think it could be close, but we'll see. Question number 4 is, we know who's in the Super Bowl this year. We know our teams are out. Fact or fiction, the Seahawks will win the Super Bowl. Well, Danny said fact for Denver, or for New England, so I'm going to take it. You're going to say fiction for this one, Danny? You're muted, Danny.
That's a crazy question. It's really already been asked already.
But on the opposite end, you can say fact also. I mean, I don't care.
No, negative.
Okay, fiction. Nzo, you're going to say fact?
Yeah, I'm gonna
The Seahawks will win, and I am too.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. All right, and last question is fact or fiction. The Patriots will be leading at halftime. I'm going to say fiction.
You know what? I'm gonna go fact.
Fact. Danny?
We're going fact too.
Okay, very good. All right, those are being saved. They're locked in, and that is it. Fiction, fact, fiction, fiction, fact for Danny. Fact, fiction, 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 fact, fact for Nzo, and fiction, 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 fact, fiction for me. So there you go, guys. That is the show for today. Let me bring this up one more time. I'll show you guys where everybody sits. Danny has 15, Nzo has 18, and I have 16. That is going to be saved and closed. And that is it, guys. I appreciate everybody who watched today. Thank you very
What was
much.
the score again?
14 here. I can bring it back up.
15, 16, and 17, you said?
15, 18, 16.
And we all know
thank
who
you,
has
everybody.
18.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
Mm.
I'll root for the Seahawks, a team close by. That's what oh God. Poe is your rooting section there, Nzo.
Yeah, I will, Poe. Don't worry. I will.
Yeah, 4 liters to a US gallon. So if you drop it down, it kind of gets to a lesser price. I'm not sure if it's lesser or not, but anyways. Well, you see, but at a certain point, Dandelion, we have to kind of strategize how we're doing this. So that's the way. Anyways, yeah, we'll talk about the Wonder Man series if you want to do that. A roundtable, absolutely. I'm good to do that. Guys, tell everybody one more time what you got going on. Start over there with Danny. Danny, tell everybody about yourself.
You can find me on my channel, The Road to Wisdom, on Mondays and Fridays at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I usually release that. From time to time, I do on my other channel, mainly shorts on The Way I See It. Also, I hang on the Hangout on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes I jump on Nzo's show, the OOC. And on Sundays, you can find me on Storms Live. And of course, the first 3 Mondays of the month, I'm right here with Chris and Nzo.
Very good. Nzo, tell everybody about yourself.
Bigger Ford Entertainment. You guys know where to find me. Khaos Central OOC. Check it out. Appreciate it. Good show, Chris.
All right. Well, everybody, I'm Chris Knight, Real Review 3000, where you can find me. I'm Master Singer 3 times a week, and also the weekly wrap up right now. And every Monday, first 3 Mondays of the month, we do these shows. We will talk about next month's giveaway. I think it's going to be on my show, so check that out. Everybody, have a good night.